What's up, dedicated Dragon Ball denizens? I'm Ryan, and we're here for another episode of the Hawks Dragon Ball Nest. We had set dump about, by the time this video comes out, 4 days ago or so, and so this time we are going to get into the full card list for the blue color, which is going to have the Gotenks lead. So I'm going to go through each of those cards in order of kind of the new cards, extras, and then legacy support, or in this case, really reprints. Alright, so here's the first part of the card list. It's going to be basically all of the new non-extras. So here we are. I'm starting with Gotenks because this is the deck I want to play the most. I'm always going to do that. Whenever you're seeing me do set drops and set overviews and things like that over colors, then I'm always going to start. Usually I'm going to go with kind of most interested to least, but not quite for sure. But anyway, whatever. Okay, so the leader of SB02 in blue is going to be Gotenks. Man, I thought Gotenks was going to be the leader in blue when we had Vegito, but here we are with Gotenks for SB02, and he's a pretty cool leader. So, first off, we'll see the front side. He's just basic, of course. When attacking, draw 15k, awaken on 4. Okay, then we have on awaken, when attacking, draw a card, and then activate main. Once per turn. During this turn, if you use an extra with both an original cost of 3 and both Saiyan and Earthling in its special traits, this card gets 15k for the turn. So he's kind of like starter Vegeta without the 7 cost. Rather, you're going to use an extra, so he's kind of, in that case, a little bit more like, he's kind of like Kid Ku combined with the starter Vegeta, and even kind of some non-milli Vegito traits to him. So anyway, let's see what the cards are like then. Alright, so first off, we've got, I'll call this one Fat Gotenks. Not shaming, just, that's what it is. Okay, so it's a 1 cost 10k, 5k combo. Discard a card from your hand and place this card in from the battle area to the drop. If your leader's Gotenks, play up to 1 Goten or Trunks Youth, both with a cost of 2 from your drop in rest mode. So not bad for kind of later in the game where we might need to get both of these, because we'll see as we go through, we want to get Trunks and Goten in our battle areas in order to use their skills, and then kind of also help them kind of cycle into using our Gotenks battle cards. Okay, so solid card. Does it have a spot? I'm still really going to be looking I was going to today, but I've got a Halloween party. But so I'll be looking at like what my build's going to look like over the weekend. I think this one probably has a spot. It is a 5k combo. The 10k, it could be a 5. It could be a 0. Like we're not going to leave that in our battle area. So anyway, then we've got the old Gotenks. Similar there, 1 costs 10k, but this one's actually got a 10k combo. So on play, draw a card, then discard a card from hand. Activate main once per turn. Place this card into its owner's drop. If your leader is Gotenks, add up to 1 extra with a cost of 3 Insane Earthling from your drop to your hand. So similar, almost exactly the same, but you're going to add the extra to hand. This one really draw 1, discard 1, so it can help you cycle, and then activating main, placing this in the drop to get an extra, which we really need those extras. We need to use them. And it's a 10k combo. In essence, this is an extra card, but with a 10k combo, if I need to get rid of it, I would say this one's a 4 of, probably, in the deck. Alright, and then we've got Piccolo. Oddly enough, Piccolo is in here as the searcher. Not really oddly enough at all. So it's a 1 cost 5k, 5k. On play, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal a Goten or Trunks. Put it into your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of their deck in random order. So this one seems solid on play, but we're going to see a much better one later. In fact, there's a much better card in there where it's an old Piccolo searcher. And in fact, there's a reprint of it that we'll see that you're going to search for an extra or a Gotenks straight up. So I don't know if we really need this one in here, because we also have a 0 cost extra that searches. So kind of TBD on if I will include this one. I think the build I want to go to is going to be really draw focused, so we'll see if it's going to fit in there. All right, then we've got Goten. Okay, a 2 cost Goten, 10k, 2 cost 10k. Cool. If you don't have a Goten in your battle area, reduce the card of this cost in your hand by 1. Woo, baby! So it's a 1 cost. And then activate main for 1. Place this card and 1 Trunks Youth with a cost of 2 from your battle area to your drop. If your leader's Gotenks, draw a card. Then play a Gotenks with a cost of 4 from your hand. So, not bad. So let's go into this one too. Basically the same thing. It's pretty much the same card. 2 cost 10, 10. If you don't have a Trunks Youth, reduce the cost of this card by 1. Place this card in 1 Goten in your battle area. If you use Gotenks, draw a card, then play a Gotenks. So literally you could use either of their 2 abilities. They're basically the same cards, and you're going to fuse them to play Gotenks. So in essence, what's cool about this is he's a 1 in hand, Goten's a 1 in hand, and then it costs 1 to play out the Gotenks from hand. So you're playing 4 cost Gotenks for 3. Cool, I suppose. Yeah, and you're drawing 1 to replace the Gotenks, but you know you are kind of losing 2 to play 1. So that's that. But yeah, I don't know. They're pretty. I mean, they're obviously good. They're needed in this deck. So anyway, then we've got this bad boy, Goten and Trunks Youth. Okay, 15k, 10k. Good thing is these guys are 10k combos. If your leader's Gotenks and you have an extra in your drop, add 1 Gotenks with a cost of 4 from your drop to your hand on play. So if you're missing one, these guys can be either or. So that's kind of nice, and that's what's nice about being the other 2. You know, you can choose which one, and either of them can activate main in combination with this one. So not bad, not bad. All right, so now let's get into our real battle cards, and this is where the deck gets fun, right? So the first one is there's 2 different rare 4-cost Gotenks. So here's the first one, 25k, 5k combo. On play, look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, reveal an extra and add to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in random order. Ooh, not bad. Okay, so on play, he's going to search for that extra that you need. We need to use an extra every turn, which really, when you're thinking about it, and that's kind of why it's important to play out the Goten Trunks so that you can have 1 to use an extra at the very least. Although, like this guy, you're going to actually need some stuff to play. Because, you know, you might not have enough energy to play an extra because it has to be 3. All right, anyway. So he's pretty good. He helps you get your extra, and then when he's KO'd, then you're going to play a Goten and Trunks in rest mode. So obviously your opponent can just attack into them and all that stuff, but at least it gives you a better chance of keeping 1 or both of them on field after this guy's KO'd to bring out another one next turn. Okay. All right, then we've got this Gotenks rare. I really like this card. I mean, what I mean is the art of this card, but it's also a really good card. So same stats as the other one, but this one's real nice. So activate main once per turn. If your leader's Gotenks and you use an extra with an original cost of 3, and Saiyan and Earthling, switch this card in a battle area to active mode. So he's basically a double attacker with that, and maybe he can even be a finisher, you know, if you're going to use that. You might need a little bit of extra. I think what I kind of thought at first about this guy is that you might on that second attack use an extra to finish the game. However, it might be a little bit tough. Well, actually, no. There's one that gives him a boost for the turn. So never mind. That actually can work. All right. Then we've got the SR, and oh man, here's our second really cool alt. I think blue as a whole maybe up there with green, because green got some really cool alts too. But blue and green, really great alts, man. Like, I'm really happy with the alts for this SB02 in here. All right, so anyway, here's our here's another cool one. I don't know. I think this one people have mixed feelings on because of its when attacking, but I think this is good. 4 costs, 30k, 0k combo on this one is the SR. When attacking once per turn, during this turn if you use an extra with an original cost of 3 or more, and Saiyan and Earthling, draw 2 cards. So that's nice, because we're going to be using a lot of cards in hand. Every single turn, you have to use an extra, which is going to lose cards in hand for the most part. So this is really nice because it helps you replace those cards. This one would probably be like my go-to to play. Like, in my opinion, this one's a really good one if you want to try to finish the game, like if you want to put pressure. But this guy I really like because he's replacing cards in hand. He's a 30k, so relatively easy to defend each turn and then replace those cards in hand. 2 cards is not bad. It's nothing to scoff about, right? And then we've got a couple more. We're still going. And others, oh man, just whew, chef's kiss art. I really like this one. So this one's kind of similar. It's the same stats as the other Gotenks, 30k, 0 combo, and a 4 cost. When attacking once per turn, if your leader's Gotenks, play up to 1 each of Goten and Trunks, both with a cost of 2 from your drop in rest mode. This one I've got a little bit of mixed feelings on. I think it's good, but I think he's got to kind of stick for you to really get value out of it. You know, you play him out, and then you play the Trunks Goten, but you need at least 1 energy to play a Gotenks from there. I think he's good, but is he the best 4 cost to play? Like, I don't know if I just always want to have this guy, and they both have 0 combo, so it gets me a little bit nervous about, like, do I really want this guy? I don't know. I'll test it because I do like that you're playing from drop. He might be good. Alright, and then we've got a Gohan Adolescent, so another 4 cost. This deck is just pure 4 costs. It's pretty interesting to see, but it's necessary because we need some, we need to be able to use extras. We need at least, like, between 1 to 3 for that, okay? Permanent, if your leader has both Saiyan and Earthling, and the special traits, you have a Gotenks with a cost of 4, reduce the cost of your hand by 2. So that's actually pretty good. If you could get a Gotenks to stick, then this guy's playing for 2, and then on play during the next time you use an extra, reduce the cost by 1. So this card I think is really good to help put pressure late game. You're reducing by 2, and then you're reducing an extra. So in essence, you can use a good amount of play, especially we're going to see what these extras are like. We get a lot of value off of this card, a lot of pressure from it, so I think this is a good card. I can't wait to try it out, really. I'm getting excited just kind of going through this right now, so woo. It's me from the future. I was editing and I realized I totally missed a card. So I added it right here, Death Missile Chain. After this, you're not going to see this in the list. Don't mind me, I didn't want to re-record the whole thing. I thought I did a good job on the rest of it. But anyway, I think I didn't want to remember this card as a Green Vegeta player because it's just a terrible card against Green Vegeta, right? So this is another one, permanent. If your leader's Gotenks and you have a Gotenks with a cost of 4, reduce the cost of this card by 2. Activate main, discard a card from hand. Choose all battle cards with a cost of 3 or less in your opponent's battle area. Place them at the bottom of their deck in a random order. So just a crazy good card. I mean, this one's Rest in Peace Ginyu, Rest in Peace Green Vegeta. It's a tough card. It's a really good card. I would probably include it only maybe like as a 2 of, but I mean, it's a nice card. All right, now we'll go through the extras and reprints, and these are really interesting cards to see, and they kind of leader lock them for very much leader lock them, but they're still not terrible for others, but really good in Gotenks, obviously, because you got to balance this out. So anyway, we're going to see these for most of the extras. Well, there's only 3 of them, or well, there's 2 like this. So anyway, okay, whatever. Okay, permanent. If your leader's Gotenks and you have a Gotenks with a cost of 4 in your battle area, reduce the cost of this card in your hand by 2. So cool. So this basically gets to a 1 cost card. If you've got your 4 cost Gotenks there, right? Activate main, choose a Gotenks with a cost of 4 in your battle area. It gets 25k power for the turn. So this is really the card that I liked with that other Gotenks to finish the game, right? Where's he at? Let me bring him back here. No, not that one. Not you. This one, okay? If your leader's Gotenks, use the cost with 3. So that you're going to be able to activate main, which is nice. So you boost him up to 50k. 50k, whoo baby, right? 25k, and then he can attack twice. So he's in essence going to be your finisher. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for just 1 cost. And then obviously your Gotenks himself is going to go up to 35k. So now you've got a 250ks and a 35k attacking your opponent. Not bad at all. I think so. All right, then the other one is going to be the Ultra Boo Boo Volleyball. I love Gotenks attack names. They're so funny. So similar here, we're going to reduce the cost by 2 if we've got a Gotenks of 4 in our battle area and our leader's Gotenks. Choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area with a cost less than or equal to the cost of the total cost of battle cards in your battle area placed at the bottom of your owner's deck. So this is a really nice removal if you can get some things to stick. Especially once we get to late game and we can use we can really cheat out some of these cards, like the Gotenks. It's a nice one for like it's really a necessary one against green, right? Because they're gonna get 8 costs, 9 costs out there. How are we gonna remove them? And it's still not gonna be easy to do that. Like, we need to get to at least 6 energy, right? But then we can in essence play a 4-cost Gotenks, a 2-cost Gohan. Well, we need 7, and then that give us 8, and we can remove at least the beast. But so it's a little bit tough, but if we could get a few things to stick out there, we can remove a lot of stuff. And obviously it's going to fulfill our necessity of using an extra. So, you know, we got to think about that. All right, and then we've got Fusion Training. So this was the last reveal of the last original reveal, and you know, the card that we all needed. You know, I've been more so lurking in the big Discord of the Gotenks thread for building the deck, and that's what people are saying we needed, right? So this, and it's probably even better than I expected. Kind of. I mean, it's an extra as a searcher, which is nice. So sometimes that's good and bad because it doesn't have combo, but it's also a 0 cost. So I'm like, ooh, that's really nice. So activate main, discard 2 cards from your hand. If your leader's Gotenks, look at 10 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 of each Goten and Trunks use, both with a cost of 2 or less, and add them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck, right? So you are discarding 2, so you're still getting a -1 card in hand by using this, but we're able to search out and get those Trunks and Goten in there. So not bad at all. So 3 extras. I think they're all really good extras. I think that Super Ghost Kamikaze is probably a card that we want to use as much as possible and recur as much as possible. And then you've got the Ultra Boo Boo Volleyball. Another one you might want to use is throwing in. It's not unfortunately going to be a cost reduction card, but probably like the Ghost. What is it? The volleyball card where you draw 2 and stun. All right. So anyway, now we're going to get into the reprints, and I'll just start with the extra reprint. We're going to go kind of in whatever order I just felt like it for these. So CU as an extra. I mean, this one's one that's basically a Vegito card. I don't know. I mean, I guess I see why they're reprinting it. It's an iconic moment. But Vegito really got like no support here. So I mean, maybe you can use some of these cards in Vegito, but sure. Piccolo. So this is the one I was talking about as the searcher that I think is much better than the other the searcher we got here, because we look at 5 cards from top of your deck, reveal a Gotenks or extra, add it to your hand. We need extras, we need Gotenks. It's kind of getting us straight to the source. The other one lets you get a Trunks or Goten, but I mean, I would think we're probably just going to use the Fusion Training over it. Maybe it will have both, but I don't know. All right, then we've got yet another reprint of Vegeta. And, I mean, I really like this one. I like the art on this. We got Vegeta looking all buff out there. Ooh, baby. I like it, you know. I don't really play the Vegeta too much in any decks, but, you know, it's always a nice reprint, sure. And then another reprint of this bad boy, too, which is actually seen a big revival, sees more play than ever, because it's just such a perfect card in Omega Shenron. I mean, we've got some nice cards of this already too, so it's kind of an interesting one to choose as a reprint, but you know, whatever. And then I think this is yet another reprint too, if I remember right. This one got in the kind of Ultimate Battle boosters already had gotten a reprint too. I've never been a big fan of this card because it forces the add to life, but whatever. And finally, we've got one of the SCR reprints, and I would have never guessed this one. I would have never, ever guessed this one as the reprint. So funny. But I actually can see why, right? I just particularly, you know, I just don't know. I really didn't think. I thought it would be Barrier Frieza, which I kind of wanted, or I thought it might be like a Vegito. But I can see why this one works in this deck, right? Okay, so it's the Goku Childhood SR, double strike, 5 cost 35k, right? On play, During this time, next time use a non-field extra with the original cost of 2. After activating the skill, activate it again. So I see why. I mean, imagine this card is a 35k with... Where is it? We're going to get there. Fusion Training? No. Ultra Boo Boo? No. With the Super Ghost Kamikaze attack, right? We do need a Gotenks with a cost of 4 in our battle area to reduce the cost by 2. So we have to kind of hope that one sticks. Oh no, we can't use it on the Gotenks. Never mind. So what the heck? Okay, never mind. This is not as good. I was thinking of this first part. Fusion World players were never beating the can't read allegations. I thought maybe you could use it on this guy. That would be ridiculous if you could. That's what I was thinking of, adding 50k to your Kid Coup. Okay, so scratch that. Forget I ever said it. Forget I ever said it. So yeah, we can't use it on him. So now this makes even less sense to me. I was thinking about trying this one out in the deck anyway as a finisher, but I don't know. I think that the other one works better. So and also I'm honestly not a big fan of this art. I mean, we already got an alt that kind of had a similar thing with Goku there and all of his homies around him. And I think that one just looks a lot better. I don't know. This one's an interesting choice, especially now after I remembered that you can't use the ghosty move on him. All right, well that's gonna do it for this episode of the Hawks Dragon Ball Nest. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed these previews. Next up, we are going to have Red. So Red will be the next one. I'm gonna see if I can get 3 out this week. Ideally. I mean, shoot, I may even try to get all of them out this week if I can. That way I can just move on to some decks next week again. So yeah, I may try to record all of these this week and just go Monday through Friday out there. So if you see one coming, if you see one out tomorrow, or if you see Red out tomorrow, then that means you will see each color preview and overview every day this week. So we're going to try to do that. So if you liked what you saw, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Hawks Nest, a fearless flock of fabulous folks who love to do what we love out here. I love making these videos. I'm excited for SB02. I'm really hoping that I can make Gotenks work because he's my favorite deck. I mean, he's my favorite deck of what's coming out. I do like Trunks as well, but I'm adjusting myself. But I'm not the biggest Red player, so I don't know if I can make Trunks work. But we'll see. I've got some good experience in Blue, so we'll see if I can make that work for Nats. But until then, we'll see you next time.